Alright, what's up guys, and welcome back. Yes, today I'm pretty much just going to be catching this alpha Lydian and just kind of talking to you guys. I'm going to kind of take my time with it. We'll see how long this takes, but yeah, I wanted to kind of just take my time, talk about PokeMMO. Is this game worth playing? You know, I'm assuming this is going to be your first time if you're, playing this game, or if you're hearing about this. I just hit the wrong button twice. Oh my god. It doesn't matter. If this is the first time you're hearing of this game, if this is your first time, like, just kind of understanding or experiencing this game, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know. I'm gonna skill swap again. What is happening? I think I swapped twice. Yeah, I want him to have Contra. Okay, I'm just wasting time. Anyway, this is what happens. This is why I can't multitask. Essentially, I want to give you guys a couple of reasons as to why I think that this game is worth playing here in 2024. Number one, it's really fun to relive your childhood memories. If you don't know about PokeMMO, basically it's all of the base regions from Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova. And it has all of these regions basically all like packed together into one game. And this one game, as you can tell here, there's like multiple people here. You can interact with many different people. You can interact with your friends. If your friend happens to like hop on the same time as you and you're in the same region, right? Same location, same channel, you can interact with your friends. And that's what's really cool about PokeMMO. That's really what's cool about Pokemon games, because I feel like the old school games, that's always been lacking, right? That's always been something that's been missing. You know, the trade evolutions even, like, where you can't get like a Gengar or something like that, right? There's certain things that you just like simply cannot get in other games, in other traditional PokeMMO games, that you can do here in this game, PokeMMO. And so that's that's like the first thing that's really cool, right? Another thing about that is, like, while you're playing through the storylines, you're going to notice that they are significantly harder. They're significantly more difficult to complete. Gym runs, or not gym runs, but like gym leaders, Elite Four, base story trainers, right? Like, it's slightly more difficult than what it should be in the traditional games, and you'll feel that, right? If you've never played this game, I'm assuming you've never played this game before, you're going to experience that firsthand, and you're gonna know, like, oh hey, like, why is this taking so long? You're gonna probably feel dumb at certain aspects of the game. You're probably going to be like, what the heck am I doing? Like, why is this taking so long? Why did I just lose to like Whitney, or why did I just lose to Brock or something? You know, like, the gym leaders are hard on purpose. They're designed to be difficult. They're designed so that it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to just walk over and just take them out, you know? And I think that's what's cool. It adds a lot of replayability. It's cool for Nuzlocke challenges or specific challenges where, you know, a certain Pokemon player wants to beat the storyline with just water types, or with only 3 Pokemon instead of 6, you know, like, it opens the game up, and it makes the inherent Pokemon story much more challenging. Because I think a lot of you guys would agree that, like, the base, like Fire Red, Leaf Green, they're pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy, you know, like, there's not a whole lot of replayability in that, and that obviously doesn't make things the most fun as it could be, right? So yeah, that's what I would say number one is. Number two is the community aspect. That's what's really cool about the MMO aspect, the MMO accessibility of this game, is that there are so many things you can do with people, right? So the first thing I want to mention is PvP. If I just go into the matchmaking sign up here, if you see this screen, right, let's look at the leaderboards. There's already things to grind for, right? You can go for top 100 in any of these aspects of OU, NU, UU, doubles, and randoms, right? So there's leaderboard climbing already. Another thing, I think this guy might have, did this guy get his bonus? Or, Mach Punch probably just goes first, right? I forget, I didn't see if his stats flipped. They didn't flip yet, okay. Honestly, once his stats flip, it's going to be a little annoying. But yeah, that's what's cool, the community aspect. Another thing about it is, like, if I just popped open global chat, for the most part, not every time, but you can see a lot of people just helping each other, right? Like, any alphas, like, how do I catch certain stuff? Like, obviously there's not great examples here, but, like, you know, if you're interested in like catching a certain Pokemon, or like finding where it is, usually the community, the mods, the developers, they're really helpful in like basically helping you figure out where to catch it or how to catch certain stuff. And that's underrated in any game, honestly, out there. Like, there's so many games out there where you're just like, oh, I'm lost, and the community's like, go F yourself, or the community's like, oh, that's your problem, you know?
He ain't lying.
I find that this community, this PokeMMO community, is very endearing in that way, that they're just polite. They're just like cool to hang out with, you know. I've caught a lot of, or not caught, but I've made a lot of friends. We hang out in Discord, we hang out through, you know, obviously this YouTube channel, and they're just all about like, hey, I caught this shiny, you know, like, and it's like, it's a subtle flex, but also it's like, it inspires you to go for your shinies. Hey, I just hit this in the PvP records or in the PvP leaderboard, and they're like, hey, you know what, like, let's play, let's for fun, you know. It's a very communal game. It's a very welcoming to new people. I think that's another big thing that I really liked about this game. Yeah, I don't know. I think that a lot of games out there, I've been in a lot of games where they're not the most welcoming. 3x31, nice. They're not the most welcoming, and so it doesn't make you feel great about, you know, being in the community, because, you know, they're toxic or whatnot. They put you down for being new or for being bad. This game is definitely not quite like that, and so that's number 2. That's what I really like about this. And the last thing, you guys probably guessed it if you've seen any of my previous videos, but I really like the grindability about this game. This game is very fun to grind, right? There's so many achievements, like I said, the PvP leaderboards, shinies, breeding potential, right? Like making money. There's so many things that you can do in this game that you won't necessarily get bored. That being said, I am slightly getting a little bored with this game at the moment. I think there's just not quite enough like things for me to want to do at the moment. That's just happens from, you know, playing the game too long and just other life circumstances. But, you know, for the most part, I think many people can play this game, and whether there's an event or not, whether there's a challenge to do or not, they really enjoy what they're doing. And they can keep doing it, right? They can keep going whether or not there's like an external aspect, because they're intrinsically motivated to catch that next shiny or to hit that PvP rank. And that's what's fun about this game. There's a lot of options for every single person, whether you like beating other people up, whether you like just minding your own business. You know, there's, yeah, like I said, there's different aspects of things you can do that really, in my opinion, just make the game enjoyable, that make the game like feel like you can make the game however you want to feel. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense at this point, but I hope you kind of got what I'm trying to say. There's something in this game for everybody. And so, yeah, I would say it's not for everybody, right? There's certain people that are just going to play through the storylines and be bored after that. Certain people who are going to be like, oh, I thought it was just you play the game and, I didn't know there was this whole aspect afterwards of like, there's a whole end game section of like catching shinies and gym runs and making money and PvP. Like, I don't feel like playing that. And people who will just dip. And then there's people who like play through the storylines. They're like, oh yeah, that was fun reliving my childhood. And then they're like, oh, it's an MMO aspect. Like, I can actually make money. I can actually flip. I can actually shiny hunt. I can breed for profit. And they discover all these things that they can do. And they're like in love with the game, right? They start loving what they're seeing, what they're doing. And they get hooked. They get hooked on the feeling of like earning money, of beating people in PvP. And, whatever it is, the reason, they find themselves coming back. And I think that's ultimately what's cool about this game. And, what's cool about this game is that you can do so many aspects. You can do so many things that, I don't know, you're just not going to get bored. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally it will be very difficult for you to get bored in this game, as long as you like have certain goals in mind. And I think a previous video, I've made a couple videos on some of the like end game goals or some of the later goals out there. So, be on the lookout for that. If you missed it, and, if this video like helped you, if you're like kind of inspired of like, oh, like this is what PokeMMO entails, this is what it offers, I can make more in-depth videos, in the future about everything it entails and go more in depth. This is kind of like a brief overview of like some of the main things that keep me playing, that keep me going. And yeah, I mean, like it's what interests me most about this game is like these couple of things here, where you can relive your childhood memories, you can interact with the community. I think that's so underrated, right? A game with a solid community base, I think is like super underrated, and I think it's not talked about enough. Like a lot of communities are not bad, but I think having a positive one, having a nice one, especially for new players, is really encouraging, and I think that gets people really amped up to like want to get good, want to, you know, do better and you know, progress along much more than in other titles. And like I said, the last one about the grindability of the game with achievements, leaderboards, and shiny hunting and things like that. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know any feedback in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later. Peace, and peace.